How I added magic spells to Minecraft using only command blocks. I made 4 books with spells, which you can use by just clicking the text. We have offensive spells that deal damage to our enemies, crowd control to stun targets and make combos, and defensive spells to make fights more engaging. I'll show you what every spell does first, and then I'll show you how I made each one, so you can watch the ones you're interested in. The first offensive spell is the Warden's Beam, which deals damage that ignores armor and enchantments. Then, we have the Flamethrower, which shoots 10 fireballs one after the other. The Lightning Attack deals a lot of damage to one target if you manage to hit it. The Teleport Attack will teleport you to an entity in front of you and deal damage. If the damage kills the target, you won't teleport. For crowd control, we first have the Pushback, which allows us to get away from enemies. Levitation creates an area effect cloud in front of you, which will send mobs flying into the air. Fangs will damage enemies and drag them under the ground. Finally, Magnet will create a mob that will teleport nearby entities into it. Our defensive spells include Barrier, that will generate a decaying wall in front of us. Pegasus will mount us on an invisible horse with very little health but a lot of speed. Boost will give us effects like Absorption and Saturation, and Vision will reveal entities and slow them for a short moment. Let's begin the tutorial by getting clickable books with commands. For that, we create a 4th book with utility spells. I'm using MC Stacker to edit the text and click events. You can import the command like this and edit it. The first spell will accelerate time by 1000 ticks, which allows you to change the time. The second spell will set your spawn point to wherever you're standing. Weather control will clear the weather with a single click. An item magnet will teleport nearby items towards you. Now that we know how to get books, we can get our first spell book. All the commands in the book simply update a scoreboard. We create the first scoreboard for the Warden Attack. With this command, we make the scoreboard appear on the side. When we click the book, our score goes to 1. We add this command that will spawn an armor stand in front of any player with a Warden score attack of 1. We will now create the Warden Attack. This command will play the sonic beam sound every time we use the attack. Then, we teleport the armor stand facing towards us, which will get us the right direction. We add this command to reset the scoreboard so the command doesn't spam, and then we add this command to teleport the armor stand forward. As you can see, every time we click the book, we shoot an armor stand. Let's now add the particles. With this command, we add the sonic beam particles to the armor stands. Finally, this chain command block will make the armor stand deal damage. If we turn the armor stand invisible, the spell now looks just like the Warden's sonic beam. Let's now make the scoreboard for the fire attack. This command is a lot more complicated, so bear with me. The first command will summon a fireball with the fire tag. Notice we're using an auxiliary scoreboard for the delay. The second command sets the delay to 3. The next command plays the blaze fireball sound effect. And then we make the fireball face towards us with this command. We then add these commands that will save the position of the fireball as variables inside the fire attack scoreboard. Each command handles one coordinate. Then this command subtracts 1 from the fire attack score. If we now create the delay scoreboard and initialize it to 0, we will shoot a fireball. Notice how the position is saved in the scoreboard. Now we teleport the fireball forward using this command. Then we add these 3 commands that will save the new position of the fireball in new variables. Each command handles one coordinate, just like before. Using the command now, you can see how all the information we want is saved in the scoreboard. The next 3 commands will do some math. We will subtract the first position from the second position to get the direction of the fireball, and then save it into the motion of the fireball. We do this for every coordinate, so we need to add 3 commands. Finally, we remove the fire tag from the fireball so we don't update it again, and subtract 1 from the delay in an unconditional chain command block. As you can see, the fire attack works perfectly now. Remember to set the delay to 0 for all the players before you use this spell, or it won't work. This is the hardest command from the video. The rest are a lot easier, I promise. For the lightning attack, we will summon a lightning 7 blocks in front of us with a lightning tag. If we create the lightning attack scoreboard and use the spell, you can see how the command spams. Let's turn it off for now. Since the lightning barely deals any damage, we add this command that will deal a lot of damage to any target that is very close to the lightning. Then, this unconditional command will reset the scoreboard. If you don't hit the lightning perfectly, it won't deal all of the damage. If you have good aim, you will one-shot your targets. For the teleportation attack, this command will add a tag to an entity in front of us, but only if it's inside this limited range. The next command will play the teleportation sound effect. Then, we add a particle effect with this command. And finally, we deal damage to the entity in front of us. We now create the scoreboard for the teleportation attack, and, as you can see, using the spell deals damage. The next 3 commands are all unconditional. The first one will teleport us to the entity with the tag. Then, we reset the teleport scoreboard so it doesn't spam. And finally, we remove the tag from the entity so we can use the spell again. Let's now make the crowd control spells. For that, we need a new book. This book uses scoreboards for all the spells, except for the Levitation one. Since we can do that with a single command, we add that command directly inside the book. That leaves us with 3 spells to go. The Pushback spell is simple. The first command will check the score and create explosion particles at our position. We then play a sound effect every time we use the spell. Then, we teleport ourselves 7 blocks behind. We add this command to deal some damage to any entity that was in range, and this unconditional chain command block will reset the score. If we now create the Pushback scoreboard, using the spell will work just as intended. For the Fangs spell, we will check the score, and then summon Evoker Fangs in front of us. We add the command 4 more times, so the Fangs appear in a cross shape, which will look a lot better. If we create the Fangs scoreboard now, using the spell will spam the Fangs in front of us. We will now teleport any entity in range of the spell 1 block below. We make sure not to teleport the Fangs, so the spell looks good. Finally, we add the unconditional command to reset the scoreboard. As you can see, the spell works perfectly. For the Magnet spell, this command checks the scores, and then summons a husk in front of us. The husk is invisible, but it will have a lodestone in its head. We'll set its movement speed to 0 so it doesn't move, and set its health and max health to 2, so it's easy to kill for the player that gets trapped. The next command simply resets the score, so it doesn't spam. If we now create the scoreboard Magneto, as you can see, using the attack summons the husks. But they don't do anything. Let's fix that. This first command will add particles to the magnets, so they look better, and the second command will teleport nearby entities into the magnet, so they can't move. If I now walk into the magnet, it will drag me towards it. If I hit it, it will start moving, but it's fine, since using the Pushback spell will make you free from it. Let's now make some defensive spells to spice up the fights. We get our clickable book, which once again will only have commands to update scoreboards. For the barrier spell, this command will summon an armor stand in front of us. This command will add the wall itself, which will be made out of frosted ice since it decays with time. The next command will set the decay score of the armor stand to 1000, which will be used to remove the blocks. The unconditional command block will reset the score, like always. If we create the wall scoreboard and use the spell, we will place the wall. However, after the frosted ice decays, we will be left with a lot of water. Let's fix that. We add this command which will make the armor stand remove nearby frosted ice that is about to break. This second command does the same, but removes water instead. Then, we make the decay score of the armor stand go down by 1. Finally, the last command will remove the armor stand once its decay score hits 0. If we create the scoreboard, as you can see, the armor stands now remove the frosted ice and water. The Pegasus spell is very simple. We will summon the horse and will make it invisible, very fast, and have very little health. We make it tamed and give it a saddle and a horsey tag to mount it automatically. The next command will make us ride the horse instantly. Then, we remove the horsey tag from the horse and reset the scoreboard. As you can see, after creating the scoreboard, using the spell works just as intended. The boost spell is just as easy. The first command gives us absorption, the second one gives us speed, and the third one gives us saturation. Finally, the unconditional command resets the scoreboard. The vision spell works just the same. The first command will give glowing to entities far from you. We make it so it doesn't reveal armor stands. Then, we give blindness to everybody for a cool visual effect. Finally, we add slowness to the glowing targets, and reset the scoreboard. We create the scoreboards for the boost and vision spells, and as you can see, both spells work just as intended. The blindness effect looks great on first person. Sadly, Mojang killed the game in update 1.21.6, and using clickable books now gives you this warning. The commands in the video work in the latest update, but I recorded the fights in version 1.20.1. You can find the commands for that version in the description and comments. Also, you should open your world to LAN in single player, so opening the book doesn't stop the gameplay. Now here's a fight between wizards using the spells. Setting all of this up in your world is hard, but the purpose of this video is to work as a tutorial for players wanting to do similar stuff. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you will also enjoy this one, in which I show you how to make ninja shurikens with commands.